Today's video is brought to you by Lowe's. Cleaning with steam can be simple, powerful, and very satisfying. So let me show you a few tips that you can use to get your home nice and clean with steam. Now the steam cleaner we're using today is the Dupray Neat, and this little machine, it packs a ton of power. It gets up to 275 degrees with 50 PSI, which is plenty of power to blast away grease and grime and whatever you find around your house. Now I also really like that it's small and compact and just easy to maneuver and even store, which is great. And it also comes with a ton of accessories, so definitely stick around. I'll show you how I like to use all these throughout the video. Like I mentioned, these machines are super simple to use. All you need to do is fill it up with some water, plug it in, and wait for it to heat up. Now, usually they take about 8 minutes. Now, I will say though, just something to keep in mind is when you do fill it with the water, you always wanna make sure to use distilled water, because if you use just basic tap water, what can happen is sometimes if you have minerals in your water and things, that can build up as scale in the machine, and it's not gonna run as well, and potentially you could ruin it. Now, someone who's used a ton of steam cleaners over the years, one thing that's always frustrating is filling them up and not making a mess. So I really like that this one is designed with almost like a built-in funnel. That way you can pour it in there and you're not gonna get it all over the place. When it comes to cleaning with steam, I will say one of the huge advantages is that it does an amazing job at breaking down things like grease and grime, and that's why they work so well in the kitchen. Now, you can use this to clean things like your oven, your cooktop, your refrigerator, even your microwave, and your kitchen sink too. Really, anywhere in your kitchen that you find grease and grime. Now, I will say there are a few areas I don't recommend using this, but stick around, I'll talk about those a little bit later. But really, when it comes to using this in your kitchen, it's just such an easy way to blast away grease and grime, especially if it's built up for a long time. Now, one area in the kitchen that I find that is always really greasy, and this machine works great on, is something like your backsplash, especially if you have grout and tile there. Usually it's behind your stove that gets a lot of splatter and things, and all you need to do is just heat this up and start melting all of that away. If you've never used a steam cleaner before, something to keep in mind is that these will loosen again and lift everything from the surface, but you still need to remove it. So I like to just have a few towels nearby. That way, once I loosen everything up, I just give it a quick wipe and it's nice and clean. The nice thing when you're cleaning with steam is that not only are you sanitizing the surfaces, but you're also not using any cleaners to do that. Now, I will say when it comes to using one of these in the kitchen, there's a few areas I would not suggest using this. For instance, if you have any wood that's not sealed, or really any wood at all, you wanna be very careful. The reason being is the steam can push moisture into the wood, and then as it dries and the moisture is sitting in there, it can warp, swell, and crack, and we don't want that. The other thing is really any surface that's not washable, you wanna be careful with as well. So any painted surfaces, even your kitchen cabinets, I've seen some people use them on there from time to time. I just don't personally love it because you're just introducing a lot of moisture there. If you do have a little bit of grease buildup in an area, you can do it quickly, but I just don't like using it all over the place. Another area to keep in mind is yes, you can use it on your countertops. Like I said, these do a great job to sanitize, and usually your countertops see all sorts of germs and bacteria, but do keep in mind, again, it needs to be a sealed surface. If you have any natural stone that's unsealed, you can put too much heat and moisture into the stone, and again, it could crack or cause issues. An area that's often forgotten in the kitchen is cleaning your dishwasher. And yes, you have to clean the thing that cleans your dishes every once in a while, and steam can be used here as well, especially on kind of those nooks and crannies that we find in our dishwasher that sometimes you can't see where the dirt is with your eyes. This will do a great job of blasting all that out and helping you keep it clean and also smelling better. Now, if you want to pick up this Dupray Neat Steam Cleaner, this is an awesome little machine. Definitely head on over to Lowe's.com. I have a link down in the description, or you can also use the shopping tab here on YouTube right down below as well. And again, thanks so much to Lowe's for sponsoring today's video. They have always been one of my favorite stores for not only my home improvement needs, but also my cleaning supplies too. Your bathroom is another great area where you can use a steam cleaner, whether it's your shower, your sink, even your toilet and grout. If you have any of that in your bathroom, this does a great job to remove things like soap scum, even again, that grime that's kind of in cracks and crevices that you can't quite wipe away, along with it can help kill some mold and mildew that you also might run across. Now, if you do have tile and grout in your home, you probably already know that it can be a challenge to clean and it's just a big job. So the nice thing about a steam cleaner is not only can it simplify that job, but it can also speed it up quite a bit. Now, this machine comes with a few attachments that I like to use for this job. The first is just the nylon tips. This does a good job to help you scrub out the grout lines as you're steaming them, and just kind of lift up that deeply embedded dirt and grime that gets in there. Now, the other really nice thing too is it comes with some extension poles here. So if you don't want to be on your hands and knees steaming everything up, you can use these and do everything standing up. Now, I will say the nylon tips are nice and soft and they're not super aggressive, so they won't cause any damage. Always test a small area just to make sure. But the machine also comes with a brass tip, and your first thought might be, okay, this grout is dirty. Let's jump up to this one here. And the only thing you want to look out for with these is they can scratch and cause damage on some tile, especially if it's like a real high gloss or mirror-like finish. Believe me, I'm speaking from experience here. I have scratched a few tiles with these, thinking that exact same thing. So be careful with these and always test a small inconspicuous area first. In most cases, the nylon tip will do you the best. I also like to suggest to work in sections and go slow. You want to let the steam do all of the heavy lifting here to really remove all the grime from the grout. And then once you have everything loosened up there, always come through with either a flat mop or a towel to wipe the area. That way you completely remove it from the surface. If you already have a handy dandy steam cleaner, definitely drop a comment down below and let me know your favorite thing that you like to clean with it. When it comes to the rest of the house, you could use the steam cleaner in so many different areas, but a few more that I like to mention is your curtains, whether it's in your living room or even in your bedroom. You can just steam them right in place and easily get rid of any wrinkles instead of having to take them all down. You can also use this on upholstery. It does a really good job to freshen it up, but you want to keep in mind and make sure that the piece can be cleaned with water. Always check the clean code. You can find that on the tag. If it's a W, you're good to go. What's nice about using a steam cleaner on upholstery is that it's really quick and easy. It does an awesome job to get rid of that surface layer of dirt to keep your furniture looking and smelling great. And usually if you're using the bonnet attachment there, you'll see it on that head, especially because this one's white and it really shows the dirt. I really view this as kind of the in-between of hand washing or like an extraction deep clean. And the other huge benefit to using a steam cleaner on upholstery is that it dries fast. Another area that this comes in super handy is even your washer machine. There's a lot of nooks and crannies in the dispenser tray, even in the actual rubber seal if you have a front load washer. This can do a good job to blast everything out as well. You can even use it on your mattress. And the nice thing is because it gets so hot, remember that 275 degrees, it also kills dust mites. This machine also comes with a floor tool and 3 microfiber pads, which is really nice for cleaning some floors around your house. All you need to do is just attach that to the extension poles and you're good to go. And again, because we're using the hot steam, you don't have to use any cleaners. I've mentioned a few of these throughout the video, but there are a few areas I just don't suggest using one of these machines on. For instance, again, wood floors or even laminate floors, even LVP, because the steam can work its way into the cracks and seams and cause swelling and cracking and all sorts of issues. I've seen it a lot, so don't use one of these. Another area is anything like with electric components, be very careful with this. For instance, like your oven, if you have like electronic panel there, I would not use this near that because it can work its way in there and short it out. Another area is if you're gonna use this on any sort of glass, be very careful to make sure that the glass is room temperature and not super cold. For instance, if you take out your shelving from your refrigerator and start using a steamer on it right away, or maybe even just use the steamer inside your refrigerator, that fast reaction of the cold and the hot, it's going to crack and cause damage. So just like that, now you know a few areas and tips when it comes to using a steam cleaner in your home. Thanks so much for watching, and I need to give a huge thank you to Lowe's for sponsoring today's video. Again, if you want to pick up this Dupray Neat Steam Cleaner, check the link down in the description. I also need to give a huge shout out to the Clean Squad members over on our Patreon. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you want to join us over there, check the link down in the description, and as always, I'll see you on the next clean.